Today on the podcast, we're going to be discussing just some recent fishing adventures and a recent competition that I won. Well, stay tuned and find out here on this episode of That Fishing Podcast.
This is Steve Rogers with Steve Rogers Outdoors, and you're listening to That Fishing Podcast. Sit back and enjoy.
Yo! How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Or if you're new, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, That Fishing Noob, and boy, oh boy. If you're a follower of the podcast, then you know that this episode is a little late because things have been a lot of crazy. So, quick little story time. I was in the process of selling a house and buying another house. And this past weekend was the final walkthrough of the house and get all of the last remnants of everything out. And then close and lock the door for the last time. And I had to take a step and just pause for a moment and appreciate all the time. So I had been in that house for about a decade. And it was pretty wild because, that house is where my kids took their first steps. That house was the one that was close to the little pond that I would use I would go out there and fish, and I ended up catching my first bass out there. So that little pond helped solidify me as a fisherman, as an angler, as a bass angler. And I mean, without that house, I wouldn't have had as frequent access to that little pond because I literally passed it every day coming to and from work. So I didn't pass it on the weekends, but every day going to work, I passed that pond. And before at my other job, when my weekends were kind of messed up, my weekends were Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they were Wednesday, Thursday. So on those days when it was just me, I just had time to go fish. So I would go spend time at the little pond and fish in the quiet in the morning. It was great. So all of that, and then the transformation of the house from where, the quote-unquote bachelor life, where the house was bare, I didn't have furniture, didn't have all of the things, because all I needed was a car, my bike, music, and, bed to sleep. And, of course, fridge, and those types of things. So transformation from bachelor life to married life to kids life, it's crazy. A lot of time was spent in that house. Bought that house when I was 25, so it's a long time. I got to be grateful, got to be thankful for the time that was spent there, the memories there. I did a walkthrough. I've got some new equipment that I'll be bringing over to my YouTube channel sometime, hopefully soon, but I brought that equipment over to the house, did a walkthrough, kind of just for the memory's sake. I think it's going to be good. Whew. So I don't know if you guys have anything like that where maybe you moved recently, or maybe you had to get rid of something, or there was something that you had for a long time that either broke or was lost. So a random thing is Jeremy recently finished up his gigantic roll of paper towels over at the bait shop. It had been a really long time, and he finally finished this giant roll of paper towels. Another one of those little things. It's he had that roll of paper towels brand new for a while, and to reach the very end of it is wow. I don't know if you've seen the video of a guy, he was working on something, and he reached the end of some wire, and he was like, man, this spool was huge, and now I'm at the end of the spool. And his wife was like, so what, just get a new spool. And he was having a moment, but then that kind of ruined the moment. It's one of those little things where it's man, this giant roll of paper towels, and now it's at the end of it. It's just the passing of time, which is wild. Crazy. Sappy. I hope that you guys are doing well. It is getting cooler, maybe not so much down here in Southeast Texas, but hopefully wherever you are, hopefully it's still warm enough to fish, but not cold enough that the bite is drastically slowing down. If there are steelhead around you, then I know that the weather is picking up to go through and hop on the steelhead bite. And there's no steelhead down here with me, but I hear that it completely ruins bass fishing because those fish are so strong and they fight so hard. I'm just gonna go and be happy with my bass. I don't need my little bass bubble to be popped. I know that Charlie, maybe Sean, are going to take Chase over and go steelhead fishing at some point. I'm really looking forward to hearing those stories because that'll be fun. But we'll transition into I won a recent competition. And before you think, oh man, kayak fishing tournament? Nope. I'm still 0 for however many tournaments I've fished. I've not placed, have not taken any money home from any of the tournaments I've fished so far, unfortunately. However, I did enter in this challenge during the month of September that was called Sweat-Timber, put on by Casting Faith Pod. Put on by the Casting Faith Podcast, hosted by Charlie and Sean, and more recently, David. So the 3 of them. But there was a challenge over in September. They put it on, and it was just kind of going through and being more diligent and proactive and active with working out and sweating during the month of September. Hashtag Sweat-Timber. So I won that. I got some stuff coming in. I got some coffee. I need to wait for First Form to finish up getting some stuff back in stock so I can order stuff. And I've got some swag from the Casting Faith podcast coming my way, so I won. And it feels pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Big shout out to them. Thank you for putting that on. It was good to go work out and kind of engage with them in that sense, tag them in it, and be more diligent that way. But outside of that, on to fishing. I have not gotten into the routine or rhythm of fishing since moving into the new house. I fished one tournament, and it was rough. I went to where I thought the fish would be, and I feel like the fish should have been, but I just couldn't put together enough fish for a limit. And it was a rough day for everyone that fished out there. I think there was maybe 50 kayaks that went out there and fished. I think if I was able to put together a limit, then I would have been in really good standing. Specifically, maybe like at least 14-ish inch limit. That would have been really good. That at 14 exactly would have put me at 70, and 75 was third place, the last position that was paid out. So I went over, I fished hard, I tried throwing various things. I was getting some fish. Chase would be proud of me. I was cranking, and I managed some fish on a crankbait, which is wild because I don't crank. And then I was throwing out my Texas rig. I went down to the spot that I thought for sure was going to produce. But it was a really weird day. There was no wind really. The water was really glassy, and I don't know, I just couldn't find the fish. I found an early morning bite-ish, and then it just died down, and I didn't get another bite for the rest of the day. So it was pretty frustrating. So I was really hoping to go and finally cash in. Finally. But nope, not this time. Maybe next time. But outside of that, I have not been able to consistently kayak fish, which has been a little meh. But life is busy, so I can't sit and sulk in it because things are just busy. Like moving into a new house, I know the cliche is like, congratulations, you're going to be unpacking boxes for the next 6 months to 1 year, at least. So I'm still living very much in that. The garage is not organized at all. I've got a little section for that garage gym. Yeah, buddy, garage gym life. And other than that, I got a place where my kayak is, and then my other gear is kind of scattered around. But I have not been able to get into a steady fishing routine, but I hope to soon, because that would be fun. But I still have been fishing. Now, unfortunately on YouTube, these kind of videos don't really do as hot, but I'm still enjoying editing them and still enjoying fishing. I found a new honey hole. My most recent YouTube video is me fishing that place. And I got on a decent bite. I ended up catching a limit, I think. And most of it was on a Texas rig. My first bite, it was funny. It was like a paid promotion. This fish was a paid actor. I was doing my normal introduction in my video where I was going over my affiliates, my partnerships, and I was bringing up Dadfish Tackle. I was literally like, yeah, the soft plastics I'm throwing out are made by my buddy Jeremy over at Dadfish Tackle. And like right when I finished that sentence, thunk. And I was like, oh man, is that yep, that's a fish. It wasn't doing anything at first. It was kind of just strange, and I was like, I guess this is just a catfish, until I got it closer to the bank, and it was a good, solid, I'm going to say it's a 3-pounder, but it probably might not have been, maybe like a 2.7, but it was a good fish. It's one of the better fish that I've caught recently, so that was a good one, good one, and like perfect timing. Could not have timed that any better. But that honey hole is fun. I've gone over and I've had the privilege of being able to fly fish out there as well. I was not able to go capitalize on a big fish, but I did manage a couple. And crazy, I've lost the most amount of flies in a single trip that day. I lost 3 of my own flies, so now I have more of an excuse to tie more flies. Well, that was pretty frustrating, but overall, fun time going out there exploring and being able to, I think that's going to be a good honey hole, so stay tuned for more fishing adventures out there. They're not the most popular, but it's what I've got right now, so can't complain. Especially when there's bass, and I know where there's one, surely there's got to be more decent sized bass, because all the bass that I caught so far out of that little pond have been really, really healthy. And there's a bigger middle section that I've yet to catch a fish out of, but also I'm planning on fishing from the opposite bank that I initially fished at to hopefully cast out to some of that overhanging structure and other good things. I think it's going to be good. Bigger body, hopefully more fish, more bait fish, and then that means hopefully bigger fish too. But things have been crazy. This episode of the podcast is late. I'm still trying to go and post videos at least once a week, and this podcast on the first Monday. This one's going to be like, I don't know, I'm debating Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably going to be Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I'm probably going to schedule for Wednesday, just for some buffer time. But other than that, yeah, I'm still out here, still doing this thing. I didn't really have a topic for today. I was kind of just rummaging through ideas in my head on what to cover, and here we are covering this. So I hope to go do some more deep dives in some things, but I need to get better organized before I do that. Unless you want this kind of like all over the place, off the cuff, no script, no notes kind of format. If you do, then let me know. Even if not, then I guess let me know too. And then with that too, if you haven't already, please rate the show, because I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And if you're rating the show, you might as well browse the description. And if you're planning on treating yourself, consider using my affiliate links, because then I would make a small commission off of your purchase, and I would greatly appreciate that. It'd be a cool, different way of showing my podcast, or my YouTube channel as well, some additional support. That's pretty much all I've got for right now. Things have just been kind of up in the air, and I'm waiting for things to land and the dust to settle and the boxes to stop pulling a hydra, and it's like I finish unpacking one and there's 2. And then I finish unpacking those 2 and then there's 4, and it's like, what is going on here? I know eventually it'll slow down, it'll be good. And this process is something to be enjoyed too. I have to take a step back and just enjoy the little things and enjoy the process. Random last tangent. So my kids are in the stage of always telling on each other, and it's pretty annoying, because it's like, that's such a, like, stop it. I understand that your foot got stepped on, but it was an accident and you don't need to tell me. But the other day I got checked and I was like, I should take these opportunities to be able to speak into them, because they're bringing an issue or a problem or a perceived problem to me, and that is a platform for direct insight and direct wisdom, hopefully, or direct knowledge or direct input into their life, to speak into their life. So I got checked. I have to flip that and enjoy it while it lasts, because there's going to be a time when they don't care. They don't bring their problems to me. They're fiercely independent, and I know there's going to be seasons where they're not going to be as lovey-dovey to me, and they're not going to want me around like that. They're going to be like, ugh. And I know that's right around the corner. So random tangent. But looks like that'll be it for this one. thank you guys for tuning in and listening. I appreciate it. Let me know that you're listening. Drop a comment or just mention something or give this, the show a rating. 'Cause ding, I'd appreciate that. That'd be really cool. And it's fun engaging with you guys too. I mean, if you have any topics that you want me to try to dissect and discuss, then let me know too. I'm always willing to go through and hear how to make things better or hear about different things to talk about, because I'm not the best person for this. It's just something an avenue that I'm exploring and I'm enjoying the process of doing. So that'll be it for this one. Ding. Hope that you guys are able to go fishing, and if you are fishing, I hope that you're able to catch a big one, but I'll catch you on the next one. Tight lines, and God bless.